Yeah, students, am I audible? Yeah. Okay. So always understand that, especially in the subjects of Indian society and social issues, okay, governance, these two subjects, UPSC expects from you if you are aware about what are the challenges faced by the different sections of the society. Okay. And if you are a student who has taken up sociology as an optional, these type of questions are very common because sociology is all about observing the society. Okay. So UPSC is looking at aspirants who have a clear idea for the challenges that the country is facing and what possible solutions exist in the most innovative way possible. From your side is what UPSC is interested in Indian society and social issues, governance, and also in your interview. Okay. So I want you to consciously look around you, identify all the problems that is there around you, and from your end, what possible solutions can come out. Okay, this is something that you can do at your free time. Have an observation around you. But today, the question is this. Let us focus on one area and brainstorm on one area. Identify the issues faced by women of the lower social strata. Okay, here the focus is on women of the lower social strata. So what do you think are the problems faced by the women of lower social strata? You can divide them into urban and rural. Okay. So this is the question of the day. Whatever are your observations, you share it. First, introduce yourself if you're new to each other, and you can discuss on this question. And we will visit back just after 8 minutes. And I'm putting you all into the breakout rooms. So let's begin our discussion. Okay. So we have 7. So I'm doing 2 breakout rooms, and each of you will have 6 minutes time. So 2 minutes each. So kindly discuss and get back. Okay. Welcome back. So students, I hope you understood how the brainstorming of the problems related to things happening around you happens. Okay. So let me give you all an idea why this question was asked and how this question was framed based on what was in current affairs of that year. So if you see that year, there was a report that was released by UN, which spoke about living illiterate, dying early. UN report highlights plight of India's poor and Dalit women. This was a report that motivated the question to come in that year. And if you understand, so if you go and go through this kind of a report and try to know what exactly are the observations of the report, your knowledge base will improve. Are you getting the point? So when you read social issues and Indian society, you will get a lot of idea. But if you want, from whatever discussion we had, you will get to know where you are stuck. You will get to know where you are not able to express your opinion. So how do you build your knowledge base? So you can use the keywords such as lower strata woman and the Hindu. You will actually get to know what are the angles in which the discussions were happening in the newspaper, which motivated the question to come in that way. Am I clear? Okay. So this is how you should go. See, the thought process has to be in this manner. For example, I'll give you an example. Some students were talking about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Correct. Now, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan has in place to actually protect the women of the lower strata, because when a woman has to go outside the house, okay, because of lack of toilet, the protection became an issue. One important thing. The dignity became an issue. Second important thing. And third, the lack of availability of clean water also led to a lot of diseases such as malnutrition among children and children especially. Okay. So if you look at the programs such as the Ujjwala Yojana, why should we give LPG cylinders to women? What is the idea behind it? If you see in the lower strata, because of lack of LPG, use of kerosene a woman has to, let me tell you, the second highest cause of death among women in the rural areas is due to internal pollution. Now, where will they go and actually get the treatment? They go to the government hospitals. So when they go to the government hospitals, whose bill is increasing? The bill of the government is increasing. So what the government actually did, the government came out with Ujjwala Yojana to offer LPGs at a subsidized or free to the lower strata women so that their health condition improved. And their health condition improved, they going to the hospital will reduce. One. Second, the time that is spent by the lower strata woman in going out, collecting the wood, coming back, don't you think they are compromising on their education? If a woman's education is compromised, can you see that a woman will not know her rights and will get married as a child? If a woman gets married as a child, you know what will happen further. Correct? So see how the interlinks are there. Okay. See, now I am able to talk from a zone of a maturity in the concept, but you are coming newly into this concept. So the point is, whatever you express, that is your present level of knowledge. From that level of knowledge is now where you need to take things to the next level. Am I making sense? Clear? Type clear in the chat box if I'm making sense. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Super. Okay. Students, I would request all of you to ensure that, when you come on the call, please be on the video so that, you get to see your peers and have an immersive experience. Okay? I would encourage all of you to kindly be on the video so that, it would be really great. Yeah. Hi, Devika. Nice to see you. Purnima. Hi. Yeah. So, second important thing I want to discuss you for the day is the hack of the day. Okay. And the hack of the day is, I call it bribe your mind. I'm using the word called bribe. Okay. Why am I asking you to bribe your mind? See, sometimes what happens is your mind is both your friend and your enemy. Understand this logic very clearly. Now, the question is, you need to befriend your mind to achieve what you want and not become an enemy to it. Now, when your mind has to do something, it's not just in UPSC, it's in any area. Okay. For example, let us say you're reading something. Let us say you get bored of going through the same subject again and again and again. You're continuously going through the same subject. Now, what kind of a bribe can you give your mind so that your mind can actually focus? Your mind will do something based on how intense of a bribe you can give to your mind. I want all of you to think in this concept. You see, when I say bribe, yes, it's a very negative term. It's said that some of the government departments function with a bribe. Correct? In those departments, if you give, work is fast. If it's not given, work is not fast. Correct? So why am I giving that example and using the word bribe is because your mind will catches and it catches that faster. So bribe your mind with the right incentive so that it will actually perform at its best. Yeah. So I want everyone to try this. Check where you're stuck and see what bribe have you given your mind. And accordingly, your mind will start. Okay. I want everyone to try this effectively. Okay. So saying this, I hope today's lesson helped you all. So let's get back into introspection and see how our week went.
Sir, can you give an example of bribing our mind? Like any example?
Bribing our mind. Okay. So for example, let's take the example of this famous singer, Adnan Sami. Have you heard of him? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard of him? Okay. Adnan Sami came to a situation in his life where he was weighing around 130 kilograms. Okay. Doctor told him, if you continue this for next 6 months, you will die. So he bribed his mind saying that I'm going to die in 6 months if I don't work on my weight. And today he has worked upon his weight and his weight has come down to 70 kilograms or 75 kilograms. So the bribe that he gave his mind was his death. He will die. The doctor told him he'll die. So similarly, he'll die. Coming to UPSC also. When you are stuck somewhere that you're not able to prepare, or you're stuck somewhere, or you're not able to prioritize UPSC over your friends, over social media, over your outings, check what kind of a bribe are you giving yourself for you to be focused on the UPSC effectively. Your mind needs that bribe to do things, else it will not listen to you. It will do what it wants. Clear, Uday? I'm giving you a simple example.
Yes, yes.
Understood? Okay.
Thanks.
I'm using the word bribe. Incentive, it doesn't understand. I realize that. What is the incentive you'll give? It doesn't understand incentives. It understands bribe. Oh, I'm getting a bribe, let me do it. Okay. But I want all of you to be non-corrupt officials, absolutely. But I'm telling you, bribe your mind to do things better. Okay. Great. So let's go one by one with our discussions. Okay, one by one, so that we will see how we are proceeding forward. Okay. So let's begin with Sindhu. Hi, Sindhu. How's your preparation going for this week? Sindhu, you should unmute.
Sorry, sir. Good evening. Yeah, I'm going with the revision of Indian economy, and it's going to Indian economy.
Okay.
Going well, sir. And yes, sir.
Any challenges, best practices that you're following in your present subject of Indian economy?
That's it. So I don't face any challenges with the economy. That my background proves. I don't feel that I face any challenges in it.
Okay, good. How is the test series, the toughness of the test series for you? Where do you think you're getting tricked?
Geography and environment, sir.
Okay, what was the challenge in that?
Yeah, actually geography with the remembering the pattern of crops and also climatic conditions, rivers, etc. So I just talked to Kaveri ma'am and she gave few tips to me and I'm following that. So I have to see how it will go when I write the full length test.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, after all these tests, have you made yourself a strategy, Sindhu, as to which subjects you like to give priority and which you should not, as a part of the full test?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you share your strategy? What is on your mind?
I feel that I'm doing good in polity, economy, and history also. And history, actually in the past I felt it very hard, but after listening to the classes, now I feel it very easy because I started reading it as a story and also visualizing. I just visualized everything like it is a story, it is going on like that. And I just did that. I gave some king role to some my favorite heroes like that. And so now history became very interesting to me. So I have to focus on geography and environment and current affairs.
Yeah, please do that. So focus on the tips, experiment on the tips, and accordingly, in whatever learnings you get, reapproach the mentor. Could you also please share the tips that it was suggested by Kaveri ma'am to you regarding remembering the climatic conditions? What were the tips?
Climatic conditions, ma'am told to go to Köppen's classification of climate. Ma'am asked me to make a table and Köppen's classification, ma'am asked me to make a table and prepare like that so that the climatic conditions and also the biomes will be very easy. I have already prepared the table in my notes. So now I'm able to do that. And for rivers, ma'am told to take different color sketch pen. And for Indus River and its tributaries have to use one color sketch pen. And for another river Brahmaputra, another color. Like that, if I draw the lines and if I paste it on the wall, so that I can see every now and then, so that it will be, I can focus more and I can memorize it easy. That's what ma'am told to me. And for pattern of crops, ma'am told to make the table and crops, climatic conditions, soil, etc. I didn't do it yet. I will do it.
Absolutely. Good. Very good. So visually have an idea of how things are. And even in Goshen Liang, over the last chapter, there's a clear demarcation of a table as to how the climatic conditions change from latitudes. So you always can go with the latitudes and how the latitudes will, the latitudinal change that happens, that will determine the kind of climatic condition that will happen there. Okay. So you can start looking into those aspects and do it. Yeah.
I have made it on the wall map, sir. I took a wall map and I just colored it according to the climatic conditions, like evergreen, like tropical, like that. As you told that, I just used the different colors and marked it on the wall map. So
Perfect.
now I don't
Perfect.
have problem with it.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So marking the climatic conditions on the world map. Yeah. Good. And there are some favorites of UPSC. Okay. They keep repeating it. They're interested in the evergreen forest, different angles of evergreen forest, different angles of deciduous forest. Whichever are the tricky areas, they try to repeat it. They're very interested in Mediterranean climate, etc. So those 5 or 6, you can collate it. Okay. See, before you go even ahead, understanding the Köppen's classification, climatic classification, when this kind of a challenge comes, wherever you're not able to remember, just take the previous year questions. There are around 400 to 500 questions overall in the last 20, 25 years. Identify the questions and write down the topics. Only those you focus first. Enough. When you go too deep into it, there's too much into it. Okay, you're not an optional student. You're a general studies student. So understand what is asked by UPSC in the previous years. And if anything you have come across in current affair, you can go ahead, or else not. One question will come from that. And that one question has a greatest chance of coming from the previous year question. So that cost benefit ratio of the time you're spending and the output you're getting, it will be better. Have you got that? So any area of UPSC, this approach will work excellently. Yeah. Good, Sindhu. Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. Next. Vashin Chui, Moonshine, how's your preparation going?
Yes, good evening, sir. Right now, like, yeah, I'm just listening to the lecture, the recorded lecture of geography, and I'm attending the Indian polity of Miss Kaveri, Ma'am Kaveri, yeah. And so far everything is okay. Like right now, I'm just listening and then going back to the chapter from the book Indian polity itself, and then correlating with the lecture. Yeah. So
Very
far.
Any challenges you're facing, Junji?
Yeah, I know. No, like, yeah, time management. Like sometimes, I don't know. Yeah, just.
Okay. Are you able to share, or you like to share it on a one-to-one? I hope you're in touch with ma'am. You can share that, or any specific things you want to share here as a group call, you can share and get things clarified. Or you may even connect on a one-to-one in case you want to discuss anything personally.
Yes. Like it's okay. Like I can connect with ma'am, my mentor, and then we can personally contact with her.
Done. So constantly, consciously focus on improving the speed of your coverage. Good that you're able to consistently perform and consistently cover. So focus on finishing your notes as early as possible, and as in when you're doing your notes, keep on connecting things to current affair using the Google technique, and that will really help you make your subject interesting. This is what I tell. If you are finding the subject a little monotonous, always connect the concept of the subject to the current affair, so you will know what exactly is going on in the current affairs. Clear with that? All right? Okay. So that's the way. Good. Thank you. Aarti, how's your preparation?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Aarti. Yeah.
Yeah, the preparation is going good. I am done with my geography. I'm going on with polity, the live classes with Kaveri ma'am right now. Alongside,
are you able to understand? How's polity now? Is it approached differently? I want to ask Devika. Devika, how's the classes now? Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir, they're very nice, and ma'am's notes are amazing. So it's a great help, especially before prelims, as I was asking for it for a long time. So it's going good.
So it's not that the subject is difficult. Please understand, this is the clear example. It's just that the way you learn it makes the subject simple or difficult. Okay, all the subjects of UPSC are actually very simple. It's all about our day-to-day lives of what's happening around. And it's all about you relating the concepts to your surroundings. That clarity and the maturity is what will help you practice. Thank you, Devika. Please continue, Aarti.
Yes, sir. I'm going ahead with polity life classes of Kaveri, ma'am. Ma'am's way of approach is like real easy to understand.
Okay.
Uh, since I've completed geography, you mentioned about the current affairs things, so I should go about it, right? How should I do?
Absolutely.
How and how
Very,
should I?
very simple. Whatever concept you have finished for the day, on that concept, you link it to current affair. On that keyword, you link it to current affair. We are also planning an activity for all of you. That is, after every chapter, we will give you the keywords. Okay. On those keywords, I want all of you to work on the current affairs. For example, let us say you're doing the preamble. We, the people of India, solemnly resolve to constitute a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic to ensure liberty, equality, fraternity, unity, and integrity of the country. Okay, I might have missed one or two words. These are all the keywords. Are you able to understand? So, what you could do is, so you can just go and in a very, very easy way. Okay, go here and start with analyzing things. So, preamble, the Hindu. Is there any discussion happening? Oh, there's a debate in 2015. So, deriving authority from we the people. So, there is an angle being discussed here in 2020. Okay, but it's very old. Okay, so it's not so important. So, here, if you see the preamble is crafted well, okay, nothing. So, there's nothing that is going on right now regarding the preamble itself. But if you talk about sovereignty, okay. Okay. So here if you see, India says it supports respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. So there is an angle being discussed regarding the sovereignty as a concept. And there is a concept of digital sovereignty that is coming into role, which has a link with science and technology. Now, look at this interesting concept called digital sovereignty. While India looks to develop more homegrown apps and tech solutions, researchers and activists argue that it could result in greater surveillance of users. Now, what should India do in this regard? Is India protecting the digital sovereignty? Are you able to get the perspective of how sovereignty is in use? So you are able to, India says it supports respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity ahead of referendums in Ukraine. So there is an angle of the concept of sovereignty to the international relations with Ukraine as an angle. So what is referendum? What is going on in Ukraine? So when you read this, you get a perspective. So though you might be reading only polity right now, but in your mind, you're able to relate the concept of sovereignty to international relations, sovereignty to science and technology. So your broader perspective is improved. So you are actually right now viewing your current affair from the angle of polity. Making sense?
So how to cut down to which article should we go ahead with and which we should?
Oh, there is an exercise for this. I will share a recording with you. Okay, Aarti. Okay. So we will discuss on that very clearly. There is steps for doing it. There are 3 steps for doing it. So this will really help you. This exercise will really help you to get a much deeper understanding of the subject without having to go through newspaper. Look at this. Nehru's socialism was evolutionary, inclusive, and not based. So there is an angle being discussed here. Socialism is the only alternative to humanity. This is not important because it's Vishakhapatnam. Okay. So look at this perspective. Don't you think for a public administration student or a political science student, this angle could start making a lot of sense for the examiner, and he might ask a question for you in this regard. This need not come as a general studies. It can come as a political science optional question. Students getting the logic how it could be asked. We don't know what can come, what might not come. But we are thinking in the lines of the examiner to actually see what could he be thinking. Getting the point? They also make notes like you every single day. And they also prepare the questions every single day based on this. Okay. So when you are thinking in this angle, you're getting a very comprehensive idea of the subject. This is the key. Aarti, got the idea? I'll send a recording for you, and we can discuss on a one-to-one call. I'll teach you the technique, and this will make things very simple. Okay.
Yes, sir. And one last question: how should we go about making notes of current affairs?
You don't need to make notes of current affairs right now. You just
Okay.
need to identify the angle of the current affair. That's it.
Okay.
Right now, let the focus totally be on the static and don't go into the dynamic right away. Rather, when you're doing the static, you see in the dynamic angle what angle it is being touched upon. Or to make it much more simple, if you see that the word is in use, just put a star mark next to the word. That's it. You don't need to do anything further also. Because in your second revision, you will know which concept to focus, which to avoid. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Do that. Okay. I can say if you do this approach, you can avoid the daily newspaper reading absolutely. Rather, you can focus on linking the concept to current affair much easier. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So focus. Start. Students, feel free, you can add on whatever your observations are as I'm sharing the best practices. Okay. Yes. Anukhya?
So,
How's it? Hello, Anukhya.
so no, sir, it's
Devika.
Devika.
Devika,
I have a
please go ahead.
question with regards to current affairs. I was
Please tell me.
trying some institute's current affairs test, and the way they ask questions, sometimes it feels as if the static link is missing.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
how
see.
do you tackle such questions?
See, now, you will give me a question. I'll show you how it is. Can you share a question with me?
Right now, I don't have it.
You don't have it? Okay. Share the
Yes,
question
okay.
with me later. We'll discuss on this on a group call or individually also. See, always understand the logic. Okay, there are some questions which are miscellaneous. They are not directly linked to the concept, but they will be linked to a subject. It can't be so isolated, right? They will be linked to a subject. Okay, but the concept behind it could be missing sometimes. For example, I need an example so that I can help you there. Okay, so if there is something, if there is, but talking about UPSC, 80% of the questions are very much conceptual, and the context of asking the concepts will be because they are in current affairs. That you should know the logic. Okay, see, understand this point. There are students who write this exam again because they haven't upgraded. They could not get into their dream service and they got into a little lower service than what they expected. For example, let us say someone wanted IAS and they got into IPS. Now they have to write the prelims again. Now, do you think, Devika, they will be as prepared as you with respect to all the year's current affairs? Not necessary. Understand this. How do they crack prelims again and again and again consistently without having to prepare much? In 10 days, 15 days, they go ahead and write the prelims again. The idea is very simple. When you have a strong static notes, okay, the linkage to the current affair will become very, very simple, first thing. And secondly, when you focus just on the static also, you can comfortably meet your cutoff. But coming to your question, if you're solving other institutes' current affairs questions, wherever you're not able to solve it, I want you to learn from those questions and update your notes, whatever new you learn.
Okay.
Got the idea. Okay. So always rely on this aspect and use question papers as a tool for you to learn. This is what I can say. My recommendation is utilize one test series as your sequential test series. And after that sequence of test series, you can solve any number of tests. No problem. Got it? But the sequence is important. If you're following our test series, focus on the sequence and finish that. And use all the other test series, how much you want, you can solve. But my focus is that too much of donkey work is not needed. Rather, focus on 1 or 2 test series maximum and focus on the previous year questions. You're good to go. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Continue, Devika, as you were discussing. What else is the update on your test series?
So test series are going fine. The subject was economy and we had just covered it. So there was not much of a problem. Lack of recalling was one, but then I have to work on the notes again. Otherwise, I was solving previous year questions of other subjects, like I started with ancient and medieval history. So there I felt when checking the incorrect options, I was taking too much of time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the challenge I'm having this week.
Checking the incorrect options, you're taking time. Okay. Can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, sir. So like if there is a question where the answer is, if there is a question on inscriptions and the answer is like 13th inscription of Ashoka and the other options, I also started checking the other options, like what all, where were these mentioned, were they from Ashoka's era, or if they were quoting some other inscriptions like from Gupta's era or something else. So at times it was taking a bit longer time period.
No. I mean, for you to learn from the options, you're taking a lot of time, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, very, very basic you have to look at. Don't go deep into it. To put it in simple way, if you are going about inscription of 13th inscription, 14, 15, 16, what it is, if you want to know, just go to Wikipedia and read that first paragraph of Wikipedia. That's sufficient. Over. You don't need to do anything else. Clear with that?
No, sir. Like 13 inscription is the answer. It is the correct option. But out of 4, there are 3 incorrect options. So I'm checking those 3 incorrect options.
Correct. You're doing it rightly. It does take its time, but the knowledge base is increasing, right? You have not covered that angle in the notes, and that angle has come in the question. Correct. So the intention of designing the options is they're very close. So what is that difference between each of it? If you just know about it, you're good. Okay. But don't spend too much time on it, but just get to know what exactly it is and keep moving. What the idea? Okay.
Yes.
Like, let's Sindhu, what would you do if you're in that situation? How are you tackling that situation?
Actually, sir, I asked the same question to Gorgi, sir. Sir told me that to divide the major and minor with things and to make a table and write it. To write only the questions which are repeated from the previous year question papers. That's what sir told me, and I'm doing that, sir. It to do, no, I didn't do it.
I mean, take a table and write down the previous year questions, is it? We have the previous year question paper topics already. Then why are you doing that again?
No, sir. Actually, to divide it as major and minor edits, and then have to write in that.
Okay. Okay. So make a table and write that aspect. Okay. So Devika, did you understand that logic?
Sir, I remember this point Gorky sir mentioning, but it was more about how to remember Ashoka's edicts. Like there were major ones, minor one, make a table and then remember it based on repeated topics of previous year. So it is like we are covering one topic.
Correct. So what is the doubt there?
So it is like here we are talking about one topic and how to remember that. But my concern was I had an answer and I had 3 other options. Now I'm searching on the other 3 options.
No, okay, I understood your point. So when you're going into the other 3 options, just see in the context of the question, what is that particular thing? That's it. You just expose yourself to that. Okay, what is that inscription all about? Over. Nothing more you need to do. Got it? If anything interest you find there, good. Or else not. You understood? Okay. So that's all you can do, Devika. I'm again repeating, don't go too much into the deep into the options. Just try to know what those options are. That's it.
And so previous year topics PDF.
Oh, okay, one second. Your topics PDF, is it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will just share it with you right after the session. Okay.
Yes.
You must have it. I don't know how you missed it.
No, sir. Ma'am said that she has to update it once.
Okay. Just give us 2 to 3 days. We'll get it done. Okay. You'll have the most updated document. I'll take care of it. Okay, Devika. All good with you then? The scores are picking up?
Not. Yes, sir. Like economy went well. Otherwise, I am revising things, so maybe I'll attend the test again because I have not marked much of the question paper, and
there's no point of that. Okay, you taking the test paper again and doing it again, not needed. Rather, so keep an open book system.
Full test.
Yeah, please tackle it. but work on the question paper, invest the time on learning on the question paper and updating the notes. Okay. And in the full test, you experiment with further. And every time you're going and revising the subject, first try to see the keyword and try to think what you know about it. For example, if it's cost push inflation, what is my understanding of it? Or if it is inflation, what is my understanding of it? What do I understand by monetary policy? What is repo rate, reverse repo rate, marginal standing facility? So when you start thinking without looking at the book, by looking at the keyword, you will get to know whether you have clarity or not. If you have clarity, good, go ahead. If you don't have clarity, stop there and relook at the concept. Devika, then and there you will get to know. Yeah. If you take the entire UPSC, hardly there are around maximum 500 to 700 concepts that you're dealing with across all the subjects. So those concepts, if you have a strong idea, you're good. Yes. So brainstorm when you're studying. That is the key. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes. Anushya? Okay, Anushya is not there.
Hello.
Hello, Anushya. How's your preparation going?
Sir, 1 minute, sir. I will join to other device. So it's
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Please come back. Okay. Fine. Sachin? Sachin?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sachin. Yes.
Sir, I'm dealing with modern history, sir. As of now, I haven't faced any issues, sir. It is going good.
It's going good, but I heard you shifted your attempt from 23 to 24.
Yes, sir, but because the polity is not completed yet, the economy is not completed yet, I'm dealing with modern, and after this, art and culture is also pending. That's why I've shifted my attempt, sir.
True. I see. One important reason why I've agreed for that is your optional is not completed, Sachin. Okay.
Yes.
This is what I recommend all of them. Ensure that if you're giving your attempt next year, your optional is completed by December. Okay. Because if your optional is not complete, you don't have a chance to win in the exam. This is very, very crucial. Okay. So do not ignore your optional, complete your optional on time. Secondly, Sachin, in your case, you got to pace it up because I want you to get into the mains mentoring as early as possible, so that I want you to write your mains paper as if you're writing your exam this time. Okay. So if you think that, okay, I'm writing the exam next year, you will only delay your preparation. Your mind works like this. The more time you give your mind, the more it will stretch the work. That is how your mind is designed. But when you have that urgency of success, you will start performing at the best. Clear, Sachin? So keep a target of May 28th, at least for you to cover all your core subjects completely, so that you are on track for your mains mentoring right after the prelims. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So urgency of success is the key. Every day you should check, what is my urgency of success? Am I delaying? Am I laid back? Or am I working effectively towards the goal? If my scores have not picked up, why have they not picked up? What should I do to pick it up? Whom should I get the help from? So let go of the ego and keep seeking for help, to get the help and to take massive action. That way, you all have to be self-centered, selfish in that particular way to help yourself effectively to move forward. And please feel free to help others, because the more you give, the more you get. Okay, Sachin? So pace it up. Okay.
So in that case, Devika's sister is helping me, sir, at some times.
Okay, very good. The synergy is very important. You know, your batchmates are there, we are there. What new things you are learning from them, you connect with them and go ahead. Okay. Thank you. Uday? Uday Kiran?
Sir.
Okay, I'll get back after Uday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I finished the trio part, sir. I finished geography, science and tech and environment part. And I'm attending
Good.
live quality classes, and parallelly I'm doing modern history.
Perfect.
Modern history daily I'm doing one class. It's like the modern history is like a story. Like I feel it's like a story. Whatever sir is saying, I'm running background images on it so that I can remember the whole history like a movie and marking the important things. And
Very good.
as I finished geography, environment, and science and technology, I started with geography. I bought a calendar type book, sir, of geography. From geomorphology to Indian geography, and every topic is there, and about 60 words are written. So what I'm doing is, as you said in Instagram video, brainstorming is the key to memory. I'm closing the answer and I'm seeing the topic. I'm trying to recall what I know about the topic. After recalling, I'm reading the sentences so that some extra points are getting added. I'm marking this. In that way, daily I'm doing one page. So at the end, I'm brainstorming and I'm recalling the answers. Along with that, I'm doing previous questions of the subject.
Very good, Kiran. How do you feel internally when you're doing all this? What is your confidence
It's
level?
like what gratitude about after joining this academy here, I built consistency, which I used to lack before. I used to start in January. After again next session will be in May. Again I will design some timetable. It comes to December. Same loop I am repeating in 2 years. Now I broke that loop and now I'm doing everything consistently. And as I
Super.
had a daily analysis, so every day I'm taking, so it gives some boost to push me up every day.
Good, Kiran. Very good.
One
When is your
thing I
graduation
am
coming
aware,
completed?
sir,
When are you completing your graduation? 24, is it?
24 subset.
Okay. Yeah.
Next year,
Please
sir.
go ahead.
What I mean, sir, I didn't choose optional properly, and also I don't know when I can complete this prelims test. I want to complete this syllabus. Like I want to gain knowledge first, and I want to work on skills more time. So I'm in a hurry to complete the static part. Like no hurry to gain the
Absolutely.
knowledge and study the videos, and then work on my skills. That is the thing
Absolutely. I mean, you all can, if optional has not been started, you all can plan for June, because June will be the time when you can start your optionals. It's a good time to start. Okay. We will help you, expose you to the optionals that we specialize in. If those suit you, you can work on those optionals, or else you can check out the optionals that you want, and we can help you connect you to the right university. Okay. So general studies will give you the base for you to know which subject you are strong, which subject you're weak, and accordingly you can choose the options. So finish the GS, we will help you channel yourself to the option. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anushya, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, Anushya. I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, my preparations are like from this week I am attending the Indian politics classes by Kaveri ma'am. Yeah, that's how the time management is difficult to me, sir.
Okay.
Because after the call, I need to do the internship and again I need to come up with the classes. So whatever is going on the classes, I'm just making a notes of it and doing the mind map. So which makes me too easier for my preparations.
Good. Okay. I would recommend all of you who are attending the live session to, I'm assuming all of you are referring to Lakshmikant, correct? Okay. I would also encourage you to have Ganesa's book, the other book that is written by our mentor. That's very good for your mates. Okay. What you all can do is, first you can keep Lakshmikant itself as a base. And as and when she's completing the subject, please go through that chapter and just read through that chapter once. Okay. And keep looking at the previous year questions and see which aspects of the book has been covering the previous year questions. If you can do it along with the faculty, that will finish your subject completely parallelly. Okay. For polity, you don't have to sit and make separate notes of all the facts, because the facts are given in the book already in a very clear and organized manner. You don't need many books for polity because all the facts are clearly arranged in Lakshmikant. So what you can do, you can just focus on the analysis part of the class in the notes, and the facts part are in the book, and focus on making comparative charts as you go by. Okay, we will be doing that. For example, Lakshmikant appears as a big book, but actually it's very less. If you see president, there's governor, prime minister, chief minister, central council of ministers, state council of ministers, right? Lok Sabha, legislative assembly, Rajya Sabha, legislative council. Everything is parallel. Got it? So UPSC is interested in questions of whether you know the difference between the center and the state. This thing will repeat in the book, but when you can make that notes, your reading will be fast. Clear with that? So that way you should make comparative notes as you go forward. Okay, I'll inform ma'am to actually give you the session in that way only. But I want you to read the book parallelly so that you are completing the notes as then and there. Clear? Okay, everyone? Clear, Anushya?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay, thank you. Next. Everyone's covered? Perfect. Okay. So today's learnings are this. For remembering the climatic conditions, as Sindhu has shared, okay, always in geography, if you want to remember something, focus on maps and build upon the maps. You can use the maps for coloring, representing things there, and that will really help you out. And even Devika shared a good technique on remembering the rivers. Okay, you can use that technique effectively. And focus on the static and link to current affairs as in when you're studying the static. If you are beginning the preparation, don't bother about the newspapers for now. Rather, I want all of you to focus on the static and keep linking the concept to current affair. Okay. This I will connect on a one-to-one with you, Aarti, and clarify that. Here, to add on to one more thing, I want all of you to, okay, learn this art of exposing yourself to knowledge. Okay? Exposing yourself to knowledge. See, understand that if you want to be an officer, you need to spend time, you need to spend 90% of the time with officers. How can you do that? You don't have officers around you. How can you do that? One, through their books, through their videos or discussions. Correct? Right? These are the ways you can actually get yourself exposed to the best minds in the country. Are you getting the point? So what you all can do is very, very simple. Okay, I would encourage everyone to use this app called Workflow, which I'm using right now. And I will even share the link with all of you in the group if you want. And this can be used on the mobile phone and on the laptop also. So very, very simple. I want you to spend your time in listening to discussions. Okay. And for example, big picture discussions of the Rajya Sabha team, the news on air news. Okay. All that you need to do is, as and when you're listening to it, if any keyword finds your interest, just type it down. And if any discussion is going on, and if anything that you are listening to gives you that interest, type it down. Browse on that. So this is how you build your knowledge. Focus on a video on that particular keyword. And as the video goes on, you will learn a new keyword. On that you build upon. So this way, when you're going on, every single day when it comes to current affair, ensure that you listen to the news on air. And just listen to it, and whatever new keywords you're getting, you browse about it to know about it. That's it. And keep listening to the news on air, big picture discussions of Rajya Sabha team. Let me show you that so you'll understand. Yeah. So if you go to YouTube, okay, so you will see that, there is this channel called the Big Picture Discussion, okay, of Rajya Sabha team. Big Picture Rajya Sabha team. Okay. So the latest of the content will be discussed here. Education for emerging challenges, etc. The latest of the videos will be there here. Okay, Big Picture of Rajya Sabha TV. So whichever are relevant to the topic, see the road to the hydrogen economy, or 2 years back, the latest ones will be available if you go to the videos and see it. Okay, so listen to them, listen to the discussions. Okay, there is one amazing thing in the news on air. It's called as the spotlight. But lately, what has happened here is that the discussions are more happening on the Hindi rather than the English discussions. So what you can do is you can rely on the big picture. See, this is where it used to be, the special program section. And there used to be a special program section. There used to be what is called a spotlight discussion. Now, what has happened here is it has become Hindi. Okay? So you can rely on the big picture. And when you're listening to what they're speaking, day by day, day by day, day by day, one day you will become them. This is the method of learning. I want all of you to make them your friends your exposure every single day, 90% of the time, so that you will become them without your knowledge. Clear? Clear with that? Okay, I want all of you to try this technique so that you will tell. See, for that matter, whatever wisdom I'm sharing with all of you here, please understand, I'm not born with it. I have heard people, I have experienced my life, and I'm sharing with you. How did I come to that life? The technique is this. Expose yourself with people who are better than you 90% of the time, so that you will become them one single day. Yeah? And brainstorm when you're studying and have the urgency of success to do things. Okay? You are here not to laze around. You are here to become an officer and to create an impact to this country, an impact to your life. And when you look back at your life, what have you done in your life, which is there for everyone, also there? What difference have you made in this journey? That's what you're here for. So when you start thinking at that maturity level, you start performing. Okay? Awesome. Any final words? Anyone want to add on anything? Yeah. So I recommend all of you to attend the mentoring call of Gorky sir without fail. It's very, very important. Ask all the doubts to him. See, understand, he has more than 20,000 hours of teaching experience, and he has seen all types of students in the test series format, and he has an excellence in test series. So I want you to utilize him as best as possible and get the maximum out of it. Remember, at the end of the day, teachers are like tools. They don't move. If I give you a spanner, spanner won't move. You need to use the spanner to remove the screw. We are like tools. The more you use us, the more you get the benefit. Okay. So thank you so much. And let's see you all effectively the next week with a very productive week ahead. So be a firefighter, fight every single day to come out of your weakness and achieve success. Okay. Thank you.
Thank
All
you
the
so
best.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.